You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling.
Yes, hello, wonderful viewers. It's your host again, Mommy Lala, and I'm back with another captivating episode of Conversations with Lala. Are you ready to dive into the world of international business growth? I know that I am, but I don't know if I am actually eligible for it. So today we have a very special guest joining us as all the way from Barcelona, Spain. Please give a warm welcome to Yuka Nakasone, an extraordinary Japanese international growth strategist and the founder of Global Bridge. Yuka brings a wealth of knowledge and experience with over 3 decades of expertise in industries ranging from architecture and construction to retail and even technology. Yuka is here to share her incredible insights and secrets to help small and medium sized businesses like yours grow beyond borders. Whether you're dreaming of expanding your reach or curious about the global marketplace, this episode is packed with valuable advice and practical strategies that you won't want to miss. So together, Yuka and I will embark on a journey to explore market research, localization, strategic partnerships, cultural sensitivity, effective communication, and so much more. Of course, just a little bit, okay? Yuka's extensive experience in product and service globalization, language solutions, and marketing strategies will provide you with a roadmap to success in the international business arena. So grab a seat, get your notepads ready, and join us as we unlock the secrets to growing your business internationally. Trust me, you'll walk away inspired and empowered to take your ventures to new heights. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss a single episode of Conversations with Lala. So get ready to be part of the global conversation and let's dive right in. So let's all welcome first time on Mommy Guide Inc.'s Conversations with Lala, Yuka Nakasone. Hi, Yuka!
Hello,
Hello!
how
How
are
are
you?
you? I'm
Good.
great. Well, so what time is it right now in Spain?
It's 12 noon
Oh,
in
it's 12
Spain.
noon. Oh, I hope you have had your lunch. Have you had your lunch? Are you
No,
okay?
because in Spain,
Oh,
lunchtime starts at 2 p.m.
okay. So now, oh my gosh,
6 in the
I
morning
cannot survive.
still.
Yes, and then they close. I think at about 4.
Yeah,
The restaurants.
some commerce are closing 2 to 4 or 2 to 5.
Yes.
So that's something that you should know if you're operating globally or if
All
you're
right.
operating in Spain, right?
Changes, right? So some of those changes. Okay. So guys, if you have a question, okay, for Yuka right now, in the chat, just put a Q colon so I can easily see it, right? So again, feel free to put your questions in the comments and we will try to pull it out and ask Yuka. By the way, guys, we do have a poll in the chat. Okay, the question is, okay, so do you have plans of bringing your business internationally? Yes or no? Put them in the chat, right? So, and then we'll see later on what is the result of our poll. Okay,
Wow.
so it's there. Okay. So of course we have to say hi to the people right now in the chat. Sammy, hi, and of course Simply Lorenzo from
Oh,
Dubai. Thank you so much, Simply Lorenzo, for dropping by. Yes, and Manong B. I do. Yes, Manong B. Yuka is a content creator here in the Philippines and he's a coach.
oh,
Yes, so I'm under his coaching also. Okay, so
great.
Catherine Reed International Expansion Explained. Yay, go Yuka! Thank you so much for dropping by and supporting Yuka today. All right, so I think that's everybody in the chat. So let's dive in. I know you guys are excited to know. Of course, the business scenario nowadays is so much different from about several decades ago, right, Yuka? Businesses
Yes,
before, when you try to start your business, your mindset is always local, right?
yes.
Yes, but nowadays when you start a business, it's not just with the mindset of going local but going international as well, right?
Do
But
you
of
know why?
why Yuka?
Do you know why?
Yes,
No.
yes. Okay, can you tell us
So,
why?
yeah, the reason why is that because it's digital.
So it's because of the advent of the digital age. It's easier to like send information, right? Or communicate to people nowadays via technology, right?
Or it's kind of reverse.
Oh, it's
You
reverse.
don't, yeah, you don't think about sending your contents internationally,
Mm-hmm.
but if you think of it, if you put your website in internet, it's internet.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the border, right? So if you put something on internet, it goes internationally. More or less that. So digital is global. That's the reason why it's now it's easier than ever to go global or go international. But you
Oh,
have to be very careful because if you are not thinking, maybe you're going international as well.
okay. So that's a great thought, right? That Yuka actually expounded right now, right? So the mere fact that most businesses, if not all, the basic is you have to have a website, right?
Yes.
And since we have a website and it's
Mhm.
on the internet, therefore you actually are a global entity to start with, right? But how are we
Yeah.
going to market actually internationally? That is the process that we would ask Yuka, okay,
Yeah.
today. Okay, so Yuka,
And
before we proceed again, we
mhm.
have Kenyatta in the chat. Hi, Kenyatta. Hi, Lala. And hi, of course, Marcus. Yes,
Oh,
hi,
of
Lala and
course.
Yuka. YouTube is also international. Indeed, yes.
Exactly. Indeed.
Exactly. Okay, so Yuka, finally, can you briefly explain what does it mean now, okay, for a business to grow internationally? And why is international expansion an important consideration for businesses
Okay.
today?
Yeah. So I talk about a conventional business, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're hitting the market ceiling in your local market, there are mainly three ways to still grow your business. One, for your client that you have, you sell something else. Or for your the product you have in the local market, you sell
Mm-hmm.
it in another sector, right? So you can expand still in your local market. But another way of growing is take your product or services and copy and paste in other markets internationally. So that's the third way of expanding your business. And actually, this is the one I use and I do. And I have language industry background, meaning I was a translator. I was translating. If translation sells, that's a question. Translation make your product or services to be found in this ocean of internet or market, but to be able to sell to another market, maybe you need to resonate with the actual client in that market particularly, right? So what I do, localization, is to make the product or services to fit into a local market. That's why it is called localization. It's not just translating. Language is just a small piece. For example, if you expand from the UK to the States,
Mm-hmm.
language is the same, right?
Yes, still English.
But there are many businesses going to the US from UK and going from the States to the UK
Mhm.
fail. Why? Because they don't understand the market.
Okay. So, language, you mentioned about the importance of language. So, going global, international, maybe you have the finances, you have, everything set up locally. Now, as Yuka mentioned, when does it like time for you to go globally or international? When you have reached your market ceiling. Okay. So, that's what
Mhm,
Yuka mentioned. Okay. So, maybe you've reached like the maximum uh, capacity to grow in your local market. So
mhm.
now you want to expand. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but when you expand, Yuka mentioned about, okay, the importance of language. Because maybe like for us, for the Philippines, right? So when most of the time, we think, okay, maybe I think, okay, I cannot accept, maybe encompass everybody, but that as long as it's gonna be translated into English, then that's gonna be okay. So not
Not
absolutely
really.
not. Okay.
No.
So language has to be dependent on the market you want to enter.
Yes. But there are
But
three components that you have to consider to fit into a market. Language is one of them. There are three.
mhm,
One is language, the other is culture,
a
the other
culture.
is function. Yes? For
Function.
example, yeah, function.
Okay,
For
so
example,
language,
hmm,
culture, and function. Okay, so you
I
mentioned briefly
explain,
about
yeah,
the importance of language. Now,
mhm,
culture.
culture. For example, uh, a very telling example, a failed example. I think it was Tesco, the UK supermarket chain, the biggest,
Mhm.
wanted to go to the States. And they thought it was easy because language was English and the product are more or less Anglo-Saxon and blah, blah, blah. And guess what? They failed because the culture of grocery shopping in the UK, in London, And for example, in the States is huge. And even if you take a big city area, the
Mm-hmm.
culture of grocery shopping in the USA is totally different. Maybe people buy more for a week, 2 weeks, sometimes a month, and they need a car to go grocery shopping. But
Mm-hmm.
for UK people, maybe it's not true. They go more often, and the quantity they buy is smaller, and the product size is smaller. I don't know if you know it or not. Gallon is
Mm.
much bigger. I
Oh
mean,
yes.
milk is bigger
Yes. I
than
feel
in
like
the
everything
UK.
is supersized in the US, right?
Yeah.
Everything is big.
So you have to localize. You have to fit into that market,
Mhm.
knowing the culture
Like the
in
irony
that
of
place.
it all, right? To go global, you got to
Mhm.
localize also, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. And the function is, for example, if you want to expand the Great Chinese area, maybe people are using WeChat more. And for example, if you have an e-commerce site with lots of Chinese people,
Mm-hmm.
of course, you have to prepare different type of payment gateways. For example, Apple Pay, Google Pay for Western countries,
Mm-hmm.
Alipay, WeChat Pay. That's for for Chinese people. So the
Yes.
function is different, right?
Okay.
So or maybe very telling example, because localization is done for anything. A car in Toyota,
Mhm.
original car in Toyota has the handle on the right side, right?
Yes. Yes.
But if we export to the States, the handle needs to be on the other side. That's function.
Yes.
Yeah. So these three, language, culture, and function, needs to be treated, and it should be really fitting into the market
Okay.
to be sold, right? I mean, language is very important to be found,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a also to be able to sell to the people in the local market, even if they understand English. There's a study in our industry, language industry, saying won't read, can no, can read, won't buy. If a consumer can't read in their language, they
Mm-hmm.
won't buy. They prefer buying from the people who provide the information in their language, even if they understand English,
Mm-hmm. Makes
right?
sense.
So,
Yes, makes
mhm,
sense. So knowing all of these things in the onset, on the onset, okay, guys. So if you are, okay, on the fence or already out there planning to, expand your business, okay, globally or internationally. So start with these three things, okay? So language, culture, and function. But I know it's easier said than done, right? So it seems so, oh,
exactly.
okay, I just know language, culture. I'll just research in the internet. But still, okay, that is it is a possible way for you to do things, but having someone, okay, to guide you is a much better option because it would, in the long run, I'm sure, would cost you less rather than having something like throw spaghetti on the wall and let's see what sticks strategy, right? In the international
Yes,
market, right?
exactly.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
Yuka actually, okay, is okay. Hold on, this one is the founder, okay, of Global Bridge, okay, and they help businesses, medium to small to medium scale businesses, okay, expand their business internationally. So if you do want to have like a consultation schedule with Yuka, the description in the description I have placed the link. Okay, so all you need to do is click on that link and set a schedule consultation with Yuka. Of course, she is also on LinkedIn and on Twitter as Yuka Nakasone. If ever you want to get in touch with her, because of course, going global is not as easy as it seems, right? So as Yuka said, unknowns to us, we are actually all, in a way, doing things internationally. But if you really want to make things be a success, that's a different thing, right? That's
Yeah.
a different thing altogether. All right, so
Yes.
let's check the chat. Okay, so no questions yet. So I'll continue on with the questions, Yuka.
Yeah.
Next, okay, now how can
Mhm.
businesses assess their readiness? Okay, they're very excited. I want to expand, right?
Mhm.
Especially,
Yeah.
Christmas season is coming up.
Mhm.
Okay, like for
Mhm.
example, in the Philippines, we do have a lot of, handmade products, decorations, or probably food or whatever that maybe a lot of business would want to expand internationally.
Mhm.
Okay, so what are how will they know that if they're actually ready for it, and what factors should they consider before even deciding to enter new markets?
Thank you very much for this because too many businesses going global too early. Meaning, I recommend a business to think about not going global or not doing anything in other languages until you really nail one local market, whichever it is, maybe where you are, usually where you are, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And for example, some people say, I'm doing only English. I'm coming from other countries and I'm only doing English. I'm doing well. I have clients from 32 countries, 33 countries, so I'm global, I'm okay. But if you think about it, if you can take one of these where you can really drive your product or services, maybe the success is much, much bigger, right? So nail wherever you are. And if you're operating in only in English, coming from foreign countries, think about where you really needs to be doing what.
mm-hmm,
Because if you scratch all the English speaking people, it's really tiny, uh, let's say, layer of the whole depth of market that you can deal with, you know. And one way that you can see where you may be able to sell your product is what your, for example, website traffic,
mm,
where they're coming from. I mean, Google usually tells you which country your audience are coming, right? And by watching this, oh, you just watch where is the left um, shopping cart coming from. It's really telling where people are coming, and there may be a possibility. Then you need to study, of course, if you can do something about that market, or it's better not to do it, right? For example, if you're dealing with your product, which is food, drinks, you really need to be very, very careful because there are lots of regulations. And if it's your services, it's easier,
mm,
right?
mm-hmm.
But
Yes, that was
really,
asked by the Yuka by Marcus.
mm,
Actually, not asked, but he made a comment in the chat. He said, for businesses with physical products, it's harder to expand versus services. Is this an
yes,
on point observation comment, Yuka?
exactly, exactly. And I'm helping a winery to export as well,
Mm-hmm.
but it's doable. You know,
Mm.
it's an alcoholic beverage, so the hurdle is even higher, but it's doable.
Oh, but very
And yeah,
lucrative for both. Or is there a market, say, products versus services? Which is more lucrative in terms of, earnings?
You
Both?
know, I think it's an interesting question. Anybody can actually, and it's your choice, really. For example,
Mm-hmm.
you want to sell your merchandise in foreign countries, Sarah, for example, and where do you think you can sell? Off the top of your head, where is it?
Mm. Like, for example,
Hmm.
me? Okay. So, since I'm Filipino, of course, I
Hmm.
think the very first customers would be area where there will be lots of Filipinos. Also,
Yes, where is
that's
it?
that's could be in the UAE area in the United Arab Emirates because there are lots of Filipino OFW or overseas foreign workers in that
Mhm.
country. Okay.
But
Also in the US, there's
mhm.
patches of communities or states like San Francisco. I know there's a lot of Filipinos there, right? And California. So certain top of head. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
so I ask you a question. So, do you think the your possible audience in the Saudi Arabia, I mean, um,
United Arab
UAE
Emirates.
area,
Hmm. Hmm.
do you think they would buy your product?
I think so, but then again, look, hearing what you mentioned about culture function, of
Mm,
course, I don't want to just target the Filipino market, right? So I also
mm,
want to target eventually the community where they are in eventually. But I believe that first and foremost would be them because the
mm,
products that I have really resonates with the Filipino community.
mhm. So, what I am getting to is, for example, if you think of another market you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
Oakland, California, San Francisco area, Bay
Mm-hmm.
Area. Uh, if you compare UAE and
Oh
the
yeah,
States, which is easier for you?
the US.
Yeah. Why?
Culture.
Yes. And maybe language,
Yes, that too. Yes, culture and
because you
language.
have to send it, right? Your
Absolutely.
product is physical.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get the product to the people, which is easier for you to do. I mean,
So to
there are so
actually go
many.
through
Yeah.
this like Yuka, oh, I want to target this, I want this, this, this. So what you're saying is choose first just one market at a time. And then
Yeah.
even then localize. Like you can say I want to target like the whole USA. I
Hmm.
don't think you have enough resources to do that unless you're really,
I know.
right? So even the big conglomerates here, oligarchs here, I don't think they can do that. They actually
Yeah.
focus on like one state, one city, one county at a
One
time,
one segment,
one
like you said,
segment.
The Filipinos
Mm-hmm.
who have, for example, a house or family
Mm-hmm.
in California, that is more addressable
Mm-mm.
than I'm going to send it to the States, right?
Yeah. So it's just like content creation, Yuka, right? So
Mhm.
you do need to know your target market, right?
Exactly. And that that's the thing. Why you are doing streaming? To know your audience, right? To
Mm-hmm.
interact with your audience,
Exactly. Exactly.
right? So by doing this, you know your audience and it helps to trade internationally. This is what I believe.
Okay. So going back to the cultural
Mhm,
nuances, Yuka, right?
mhm,
So if let's say, because probably a factor would be it could be that language and culture is easier in the US, but probably
Mhm.
it would be more expensive because of the sheer distance,
Mhm.
right? So if that is so, can what do you call this? How can cultural nuances play a part in like the decision making? Okay, so finances, okay, this is a possible target market also, but nearer, but culture. The other one is language, and what do you call this? Positive is okay. Hold on. The positive side with
Yeah.
the one market is it would cost me less as a business
Mhm.
and financially, but the other one, language, in terms of language and what do you call this? The function may be easier for me to adopt.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So when there are options like that, what do you
Mhm.
think is a more viable path for the
Mhm.
business to take?
So you need to test, you know,
Mm.
and if you have a website, do you have a website with your products? Do
Yes,
you?
yes. Oh, you were asking me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I do have. Yes. Okay, so for example, guys, I am the test here. I am okay. So because
Yeah.
we want to have an actual physical, example, so you guys can
Yeah.
relate more. So let's take me for example. All right. So I do
Yeah.
have a physical website. I mean, I do
Yeah.
have a
So
website. Okay, with physical products in the website.
mhm. So
Okay.
the first thing you want to do is off the top of your head, you said UAE and
Mhm.
US, right?
Mhm.
And with this kind of perspective, you go to your website,
Mhm.
backend, you see the data and see, is it true? You ask yourself,
Mm.
is this true?
Okay. So,
Okay?
of course, gut feel for most businesses is very
Mhm.
important, but also
Mhm.
you need to verify those with the metrics. So, check.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
And
it's not
see,
about, yes,
yeah,
Yuka.
it's not about fantasy.
Uh,
Too many businesses are going global, fantasizing, right?
uh,
So
I can
that's
do this.
really
If I made it
expensive
here,
going.
I can make it anywhere. So, it's like a song.
Mm.
Right? So, it's the reality of which is it's really not like that. So, there's a lot of
Mm.
number crunching. There's a lot of market research. Okay. On that note,
Exactly.
market research. How important
Exactly.
is market research, Yuka?
It's like 120%.
Good.
Because going opening the market is sometimes much easier than, I mean, deciding
Sustaining.
to no, take it out,
Mhm.
right? I mean, because you spend so much money, you don't want to lose it, and you keep doing it, even if you know you're not gonna have the return that you wanted, but you kind of have to know plan the return as well. I mean, you need investment. It's just like starting up newly. When you start up your business, you need investment. First 2 3 years,
Mhm.
usually it's not really good, right? And
Mhm.
from 2 to 3 years, if
Yeah,
you
because you're still making a lot of tweaking, right?
exactly,
Changes to adopt. Okay. So beyond the 2 to 3 years.
yeah. So think about opening another market is repeating the process that you have done starting your business, right? It's going to be easier because you know your business better, right? And it's
Mhm.
kind of copy and paste. So you wouldn't do what you did, which was a failure, right? But
Mhm.
there are new kind of failures waiting for you because it's a new market,
Yes,
but it's a
exactly.
new market starting up,
Yeah. So also
right?
come in with the mindset that there will be failures. It's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. but you just need to pivot and learn from those, okay,
Exactly.
so-called failures. All right. So Nuka, assuming that I've made it into the market, I finally did it. I went into, let's say, I went into the US market. Okay, because
Mhm.
I feel that in the long run, the cultural nuances would cost me more, okay, than to
Mhm.
just go for the longer, or in terms of distance, longer, more
Mhm.
expensive to ship and all, but would be in the long run better for me. Okay, so
Mhm.
on that note, okay, so what can businesses, or what strategies can businesses employ now to establish a strong presence and build relationship with the customers and partners in that new international market?
You said the keyword. I mean, no business operate alone, right? So what I recommend is partnering with the local people. It's the, I think it's the strongest mindset, working with people. And sometimes it's not always, but sometimes you kind of have to partner with your competence. I mean, like competing businesses in
Ah,
your local
competitor. So
market,
it's more of like
competitors.
create collaborations.
Yeah, create collaboration with the people and businesses that is in that local market, and really take advantage of the market. Not going, okay, I started to sell, then next country. It's a pity,
Oh, okay, okay.
right?
So
Because
do
oh,
not expand like
too much.
simultaneously
Oh
this
no,
market, open this, unless probably you have an unlimited supply of resources, not just money, but you can
I
say no,
know.
no, no.
No, 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 no. I mean, too many businesses go crazy. I mean, to test, maybe having 10 languages of medium-sized company would be a test. But
Mm.
if you're not really like a size of corporate, two-digit languages is maybe too much, So
Mm-hmm.
you really need to think how to take out to perform well, not adding, adding, adding,
Mm-hmm.
choosing wisely, right? So that's the that
So
that's
patience
something.
becomes a virtue in the
Yes,
international market, right?
yes,
So
and yeah,
even though you really want to expand, it's like, oh no, an opportunity. How about this one? When something like an opportunity opens up, that normally happens, right, for businesses. Oh, Yuka, but then there's this collaboration. Somebody
I
messaged me,
know,
commented, they
I
want me to
know.
visit, okay, and they want to talk to me about bringing my business here, and it seems that it is an opportunity that I cannot miss. So, what can you suggest with that kind of scenario?
Because I saw many things and many cases, and usually this type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
like I have. One of my friends moved to this country and he said he can sell this there. So maybe we are going. That is really bad idea.
Mm.
First, you need to have your strategy, and if the opportunity comes in that way to support that strategy, fantastic.
Ah, okay.
But don't. It's not the other way around.
Okay. So one
Usually it
cannot
fails.
know if it's a good thing unless you know all the details. So market research,
Exactly.
everything. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a very good advice, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I
Okay.
mean,
Yes,
yeah,
Yuka.
many people think this going to another country too lightly, because digital is so easy, right? You can put the sentences, you can send messages, you can post whatever, and you can send videos, and that's it. But selling is not that easy. and
Exactly.
maintaining your sales efforts
That's
to
that's
yeah
most difficult and important, right? Because no
yeah
business can thrive or be sustained unless you have an influx of income, right, or money. Okay, on that
exactly.
note, you mentioned about, technology and all. So, how can businesses leverage technology and digital platforms to facilitate international growth? And are there specific tools or resources that you can recommend for streamlining global operations? Just, the very, general ones. I know there are very
Yeah,
specific ones.
yeah. So to start with, to translate, there's automatic translation everywhere. In my industry, language industry, we've
Mm-hmm.
been working with automatic translation for decades. You didn't know, but we've been working from 80s and 90s to make things work. And now we have lots of good machine translation, which is automatic translation, the Google Translate, Bing Translate, translation, uh, Deep DeepL.
Mm-hmm.
All these, machine translation can help you to translate and make you understand in foreign country. But there's a advice for anybody who don't know about automatic translation. Please use human to verify before sending
Okay,
something
absolutely.
over.
Yes, because nowadays there's a like advent of a lot of AI technology, right? From photo, video, content creation, even in business. But Yuka is saying still validate, right? So whatever it
It's not
is,
still.
always
It's not
validate.
still.
Oh, that's
Machine
still
doesn't work without humans.
exactly yes.
So if you machine translate, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to know what does this mean, to grasp the meaning of what it says, it's okay to machine translate and that's it, right? But if you are doing marketing campaign, mm, no good idea to
Mm.
machine translate
Oh
because the
yes, I
nuances.
that's true. I
No.
think I've seen several like
Mm.
for marketing campaigns where they actually used AI and eventually unknowns to them that some of those materials that were actually in their campaign were actually used by somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? And since this is like an international campaign, so that is a fail and it's gonna be shameful, okay, to your client or to your business as well. So really, okay, that is very important what Yuka is saying. At the end of the day, you really
Mm.
need human intervention
To
still.
check.
Okay, yes, to
Native,
check.
native people. So
Native. No,
maybe,
native, not
maybe,
just
yeah.
like you. Native. All
No,
right. So
no,
you
no,
need to
no,
hire
because
or to get somebody from, okay, that same
from,
region or country.
yeah, because it's business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you really need to hire somebody from the market to check the campaign so that you can avoid a fatal errors.
Yes.
Really.
Yes. Perfect word. Fatal.
Yeah.
Because with just one wrong move, especially if it's the marketing, that could be the end of your business
Yeah.
in that region.
And
Right?
and there are many Western companies
Mm-hmm.
failed in the Chinese market. It's a very difficult market as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to internet and Google, look up some Western companies failing in Chinese market, you can see all the brands, all the
Mm-hmm.
good brands failing,
Mm-hmm.
because they
Not
did
because
some
their product
kind
is
of
not good, right? But because they failed to prepare. And failing to prepare is failure in itself.
yeah, even having
Mm-hmm.
professionals,
Mm-hmm.
so having some kind of native professional to take your hand to go to the market is really important. But if you can afford, have somebody in the market to check everything.
Okay, so that's a great. Anyway, you've already, again, when you go internationally or globally, you have to make sure that this is part and parcel of the things that you need to do in terms of also the expenses. So you already mentioned about, making sure that you have somebody who knows, the local or the region, okay, in terms of everything, language, culture, and the function. And on that note as well, okay, when expanding internationally, businesses often encounter legal and regulatory complexities, right? So
Yes.
what are some common legal considerations businesses should be aware of, and how can they ensure compliance in different jurisdictions?
Yeah. So before selling anything,
Mhm.
putting out information and getting the information from your prospects on internet only is kind of you have to consider the legal implications. For example, here in Europe, it's famous for GDPR.
Ah, yes.
The privacy is really protected,
Mhm.
right? So you really need to know what to do with your digital presence as well. And e-commerce site needs to be adjusted as well, not before sending anything. But
Okay.
other things like if you want to really sell your product, you really need to look up the regulations that apply to your product before. I mean, it depends on what you deal with. Like if you're dealing with medical or pharmaceutical products, it's
Yes, that's it.
really regulated,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And food is really regulated. And agriculture products is really regulated. And not only the product itself, advertisement is regulated as well.
Yes, especially
In
for,
some,
yes,
yeah,
for the medications, restrict, because there are things that you cannot even do marketing, right? Of
exactly.
mm-mm.
Some countries, some countries ban to market medication. I mean, like
Yes, because
drugs,
prescription
right?
medications, even in our country, you cannot. Only over the counter ones can have like advertisements and stuff like that, right?
And over-the-counter one,
Oh, even over the
there's
counter.
yeah,
Yes.
there's one,
So it's very important to know,
yeah.
not just, of course, you also have to work with your local regulatory body in terms of regulations, but at the same time, make sure that we also know the rules, laws, and all the legalities that we need what we need to abide to be able to market or do our business there, right? So you mentioned, Yuka, so many things. My goodness. So now it's like, ooh, it's not that easy. I thought it's just so easy. Put a website, put my products there, order, and then send, right? So it's
Yeah.
not that easy, guys. But don't worry, because Global Bridge, okay, like Yuka's company, Global Bridge is actually there to help those who want to expand their business globally. So, Yuka, let's talk about Global Bridge for now. So, what is Global Bridge?
So it's my company. I
Mm-hmm.
founded it in 2015 and started to operate in 2016. So it's 16, 17 years of operation. We do language operations. So we help translation, localization, or automatic interpretation, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is you need. And of course, we help companies to land somewhere else. If somebody wants to come to Europe, if I can do by myself from
Mm-hmm.
here, I have resources all over the world, and I have a network of professionals to
Mm-hmm.
help you from the local market. So that's more or less I do, and I'm kind of helping right now the association of SMBs here in
Mm-hmm.
Catalonia. Catalonia is the region
Yes,
to
yes.
figure out how to make this going global easier for SMBs. I'm in the process of figuring it out with AIs and
Mm-hmm.
machine translation all the kind of stuff with a big association which has 135,000 members.
Wow,
So
look at
if yeah, if I have something, I'm going to announce, and then maybe we can expand internationally as well. This kind of
there you
product to
go.
make.
So guys, don't be afraid of the going international. I know we've mentioned or we've talked about or touched a little bit of the many things that you actually need to consider. But as Yuka mentioned a while back, it's doable, right? But you don't need to do it by yourself, okay? Even if you have the capacity to hire people, who or what kind, okay, of positions do you actually need? So somebody like Yuka and Global Bridge, okay, the things that they offer can absolutely help you. And Yuka, okay, so this is how you can actually get in touch with Yuka. There's a direct link for consultation schedule in the description of this live stream. Okay, so that is the link over there, but it's also in the description. And of course, if you want to get to know who is Yuka, what is Yuka, okay, what is her professional background, right? So look her up on LinkedIn, okay, and you'll be, I'm super proud of Yuka, right? And of course, she's
Oh,
also on Twitter as Yuka Nakasone. All right.
yes,
So again, I know that we're almost at the top of the hour, and still there's so many things I want to ask Yuka, right? So okay, let's just go back to the chat for a while, Yuka. Okay, I
yes.
forgot. Okay, Marcus, you've been there for a long time. Sorry. All right, your chat is there. Okay, bracket reviews. Oh, Mateo, okay, is here. Thank you so much. His channel is actually very big now, and he does a lot of technology reviews.
Mm.
Okay. So, hi, thank you so much for dropping by. And he said, yes, collaboration is important. Jason, thank you so much for dropping by. Yes, so much planning happens behind the scenes when starting a business. Indeed, yes, because she's my daughter. She understands absolutely what it takes, okay, for, okay, a business to thrive, even just locally. Okay, guys, there's the link in the description right now, okay, to book a consultation. You can actually click on that right now and set a consultation with Yuka. All right. So, as a going away like message, Yuka, what can you like give to those who are like a beginning? What the very ever first thing that one needs to do if they actually want to do business internationally? By the way, going back to the chat, okay, the winner, okay, or the poll, okay. Yes. Do you have plans of bringing your business into the international market? The poll says 88% said yes, and only 12% said no. So,
Mm-hmm.
indeed, okay, so everybody has that mindset that yes, we want to expand and, go international or go global. So, what
Mm-hmm.
is a tip or certain tips that you would want to share to them before we go for tonight, Ika?
So, not to waste your effort and money, rely on professionals from the first moment. It's a very bad idea to rely on your cousin, wife of your friend who is native in French, all the kind of things. We need to when a professional steps in to the operations, usually we have to clean out, and it's very expensive to redo the things that badly done. So consult with the professionals, and if you decide to go international, you need to plan and you need to have investment. Otherwise, try not to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, don't
That's a
don't
great
go global.
advice. Yes. Although, as we said, Yuka, of course, would want to have more clients to go international, but she also understand the possibility of you failing if you are not ready. So thank you so much for those advice, Yuka. Kuya JDL, hello to all and just passing by. Thanks for dropping by, Kuya JDL, and hope you can watch this on replay because it's such filled with so much amazing information that all of us, as we said in the poll that we actually did today, 89% said yes. Okay, now the no is now only 11%, right? So the yes is winning, right? Okay, so again, thank you so much, Yuka, for joining us today. I know you are super busy, and so I really appreciate that you have set aside some time to join us this afternoon. And I hope to see you in a few, like in 2 weeks' time.
In two
Okay.
weeks' time in
Yeah,
Barcelona,
in
yes.
Barcelona. All
And
right. See you.
yeah,
Thank you so much, Yuka. Again, guys, thank you
thank
so
you.
much. And please don't forget to hit that like button if you feel that this episode has been so much helpful to you. With that, thank you so, so much. And see you again for another Crafty Nights on Saturday here at Mommy Guide Inc. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so, so much for joining us again this evening. And I hope that you had as much fun and information as I had. See you again tomorrow for another Crafty Nights here at Mommy Guide Inc.